Now, in order to understand the third type of demon, it's much like the second type of demon in the sense that it's not a demon at all, at least not in that Judeo-Christian theological sense of a fallen angel. But it's important to understand this one because it is the most prolific type that we encounter in the work that I do. When you look at all of our cases, this is the one that we keep coming back to and seeing the most. And it's also hard for people to grasp because science has a tough time going in this direction. And this is where the occult is going to help us because some of those early occult laws that we talked about in previous lessons are going to be revisited here in this one. And that is the law of personification predominantly. And that was the one that taught us that complex energy patterns in the cosmos can manifest as sentient beings, even becoming physical projections that can affect the physical environment. Science has a tough time with this one, but any occultist can tell you that this is something that can and does happen. Now, how does this occur, though, in the case of a demonic event, okay, where a person manifests this? Well, it comes out of their own trauma. Now, remember, theologically, we are creatures aligned to the creative principle. We are made in God's image, creator, and we are oriented towards that creative principle, which means that by our nature, we can create things, physical and incorporeal. And that will, of course, have the basis for how people can perform certain occult rituals and manifest things, witchcraft being an example, ceremonial magic being another example. That's how these things work, at least in terms of metaphysics is concerned. But it also can happen accidentally. And this is where our lack of skillfulness and a person's lack of control over their psyche can have serious ramifications, particularly when they are spiritually immature and don't know how to work with that incorporeal side of themselves. Trauma can manifest this way, okay? Now, with trauma, it usually goes the psychological route where it's internalized and then becomes a type of repressed anxiety and can manifest as a neurosis in the form of an anxiety or depression or some kind of other psychological illness. But in some cases, the person does not internalize that. Now, psychology and science only looks at the internalization form. They don't even acknowledge the externalization form, which is really problematic for people that suffer from this one. And sometimes that trauma can be externalized in the form of a demon, a sentient being that will return to torment them with that same trauma over and over again. And that becomes a type of demonic attachment that has to be dealt with.